Well, firstly, it is important to realize how important media is in any discourse that is taking place on the country. We are seeing more and more that media is shaping the way people think and people aspire. So we must understand media and entertainment of the CII wing as a very important component of the whole group, not as something which is just as an add-on. And it needs to be given the kind of supremacy it deserves because it shapes opinion and it shapes aspirations. So it's important to give it central focus and not treat it like it's on the periphery. I find it invigorating because you get a chance to hear the leaders today and what their vision is, and the fact that they take CII so seriously that everybody comes is in itself very, very. I think the one area in which we really need more to be done is in creating very many more theatres than we actually have today. Because in such a vast country, at one point we had only 13,000 theatres and today we have very few. But also we have to look at what is happening with technology and how the ways in which people are receiving information or entertainment is changing completely. And unless we are geared into that and realize that particularly the social media has possibly become the most important way in which things get communicated, and so we should really be concentrating a lot on the social media, make it interactive and make sure that it works in a way that we hear the voice of the people at the ground who matter, rather than for it, for instance, to be broadcaster driven. Well, there is several things. First, to recognize that all over the world today we recognize that the true yardstick of a country's growth is not merely by its GDP, but the extent to which people have access to education, to health and gender empowerment. In order to do that, obviously you have to invest in education, you have to invest in health, and you have to invest in women becoming decision makers. A, you are fighting with a patriarchal mindset. B, women in this country, because it's a patriarchal mindset, the boy is privileged over the girl, which leads to a whole series of discriminations that the girl has to face. How can we change that? We can change that by changing the image of the woman as being a dependent rather than as somebody who is not only independent but also contributes to the home's coffers. So for CII, they must invest in education, they must invest in health, and they must empower women by making microfinance available to the largest group of women ever, so that they can become entrepreneurs and they can be in charge of their own destinies.